Because my first video on this topic did so well, I thought, why not discuss even more roller coasters that I never want to ride again? Okay, for context though, these are what I consider one and done attractions. They may not be the worst of the worst, but if I find that the ride is rough, horrible operations, or just plain boring, yeah, why would I want to ride that again? Before we get into this incredible list of roller coasters, please do me a favor by clicking on that like button, and if you are new to my channel, just love roller coasters or theme parks in general, make sure to subscribe. Blue Hawk, located at Six Flags Over Georgia. This is a relatively new credit for me. I took my first ride on Blue Hawk in May of this year. My overall consensus, it's not the worst ride out there, but nothing that I would be willing to strap into unless there was a logical explanation, like my kids wanted to or my friends wanted to check it out. Originally, Blue Hawk was called Ninja, and I hear it was even worse with the older style Vekoma trains, which I can only imagine. Well, the ride has been repainted, received the newer vest restraints, so the headbanging has been minimized. The layout is mostly just traveling from inversion to inversion. The butterfly element, which is the weird-looking double loop inversion, is the most uncomfortable part of the ride. My head kept bouncing off the headrest, but nowhere as bad like TMNT Shellraiser did. Seriously, that ride is only 4 years old, but feels like it's 25 plus years old. Back to Blue Hawk. Is it the worst coaster on my list today? No, but when you could be riding something better that won't risk the possibility of a headache inside the same park, I say one and done. Green Lantern, located at Six Flags Great Adventure. After getting on Pipeline, the surf coaster at SeaWorld Orlando, I don't think I ever want to go back to the outdated, painful, old stand-up coaster model. Green Lantern, though one of the more forceful stand-up coasters, has its own list of problems. First, it's a stand-up coaster. I mean, come on, what more do I need to say? We know the drill. If the seat isn't properly situated, it can be a ball buster. Plus, the forces will make your legs feel like jelly. The layout isn't actually that bad. I really enjoyed the tilted vertical loop, but it's still been there, done that looping layout for B&M. Now, for those who are a fan of this roller coaster, Green Lantern has a single rider line. This is great because one major issue with these older stand-up coasters is the dispatches or operations. Getting those restraints and seats in the proper position is a timely process, so don't be surprised if it takes more than 5 minutes to send the train. Nighthawk, located at Carowinds. Spoiler alert, Carowinds has a few roller coasters that belong on this list, but I don't know if we'll cover all of them in this video. Starting out with the least of the bunch is Nighthawk. Depending on how nostalgic you are to defunct coaster models, Nighthawk is one of the remaining Flying Dutchman models in operation. In fact, it's the original flying coaster. It was built in 2000, located at California's Great America, before it was dismantled and rebuilt at Carowinds, being rethemed to Nighthawk. Well, of course, that was after a short little stint as Borg Assimilator. The ride experience isn't terrible, as you could do plenty worse at Carowinds, but I have 2 reasons why I don't want to ride this roller coaster again. First is the operations. It can take upwards of 6 minutes to dispatch a train, and with a total of 24 passengers a train, that's only 10 dispatches an hour, totaling 240 riders an hour. Even the Skyrocket 2 models can do better than this. Of course, the ride should be capable of sending those trains faster, but I believe many guests have difficulties with the clumsy shoulder straps, which lead me to my second reason why I dislike Nighthawk. I despise the restraints. Unlike the flying coaster model by B&M, which I feel is superior in every way, on Nighthawk, I'm constantly fighting with the restraints to stay in a more comfortable, upright flying position. Now, there is a rattle that pops up occasionally throughout the layout, but it's not too bad. If I see that the line is longer than a station wait, I see no reason on waiting, especially when I could ride Intimidator, which is just across the midway. And for those who think I'm boring because maybe I just don't like variety and I'm just gonna stick to certain types of roller coasters, that's just not true. I just really don't care for roller coasters that are rough, have clumsy restraints, and bad operations. Loch Ness Monster, located at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. I feel like this one I'm going to get flack over. I'm not a fan of Loch Ness Monster. In fact, I'm not a fan of many aging aero looping roller coasters. The transitions are usually janky, and the restraints are uncomfortable. Loch Ness Monster is no exception, though the train did receive an upgrade a few years back for its 40th anniversary, and it is better than what it was before. Honestly, besides the random jankiness that's just not comfortable, the biggest offender is actually actually how boring this ride is. The drops are not that intense. The best part is the vertical loop, but that's just a small fraction of the whole ride time. I know that some enjoy the massive downward helix inside the tunnel, but I find that part of the ride to be rather annoying. It seems like everybody just has to scream as loud as possible so your ears are ringing the entire time, and plus it's just not that exciting moment of the ride. Busch Gardens Williamsburg has a solid collection of roller coasters, which is why I wouldn't want to waste a single minute riding Loch Ness Monster, when there are so many better choices like Griffin, Alpengeist, Pantheon, or Apollo's Chariot. Heck, even the new Dark Coaster is a better option than this one. Cedar Creek Mine Ride, located at Cedar Point. Boring coaster Loch Ness, let me introduce you to another boring roller coaster. Yes, I know that Cedar Creek Mine Ride is technically a family coaster, but it has a minimum height requirement of 48 inches. My son, who is not 48 inches, can ride better family coasters like all the ones at Disney or even Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. All of those attractions are superior in every way, but for some reason, Cedar Creek Mine Ride, which is considerably slower and boring, nope, we need a height requirement of 4 feet. My daughter has ridden this attraction once and has moved on to bigger and better things right away, like Millennium Force, Magnum XL 200, or even Gemini. Once Cedar Point is done working on Top Thrill Dragster, I think they need to take a look over at Cedar Creek Mine Ride, maybe just trash the whole thing and build a worthy family coaster attraction. Thunderation, located at Silver Dollar City. Before taking my one and only ride on Thunderation, I really wanted to like this roller coaster. Contrary to what you might think from watching this video, I have a soft spot for these mine train roller coasters, and Thunderation looks to be a unique ride experience. Well, it didn't take too long into the ride before I realized that me and Thunderation would not be getting along well. Similar to many old aero looping roller coasters, they suffer from bad transitions, just overall jankiness. By the time Thunderation made it all the way down the mountain, approaching its max speed, I felt like the ride was actively attacking me. I don't know if it would go as far as saying it was like riding through a train wreck, but yeah, it was not a pleasant experience. The ride starts rolling out of the station and dives down the side of the mountain. The lift is actually not until the final part of the ride. As we were crawling back up the lift, I was relieved until I realized that there was one more drop till the brake run. Thankfully, the ending wasn't as bad as the middle portion of the ride, but it was enough to know that I never want to ride Thunderation again. Mind Eraser, located at Six Flags America. Amongst the coaster community, one of the hottest debate topics would be discussing the greatest roller coaster of all time. The second topic has to be deciding which of the Vekoma SLC clones is the worst. Okay, just kidding. Mind Eraser at Six Flags America. I have to specify which park because there are many Mind Erasers out there, but yeah, this one continues to be ranked at the top of that bad Vekoma SLC list. Mind Eraser isn't the worst SLC. No, that one is being terminated, thankfully. As the train is traveling the layout, you can hear the supports and catwalk structure shaking like crazy, like it's going to come crashing down at any moment. Now, I know that the chances of that happening is slim to none, but it should be a sign as to how rough this roller coaster will be. Not only is this a rough roller coaster, but the headbanging that it creates is enough to put you down for the day. Well, that's going to do it, my second list of roller coasters I never want to ride again. Tell me what are some of the roller coasters you don't want to ride again down in the comments. And of course, tell me which roller coasters I got totally wrong because I have bad taste or whatnot. But until next time, this is Extreme Thrills.